traditionally service providers have been law firms, whether it's a 2-person law firm or a 2,000-person law firm. That's sort of the traditional. So when we look at the word alternative, you're looking at what's an alternative to the traditional model of law firm. And since 2008, when there was the financial crisis of 2008, you've really seen a shift in the market away from service providers, law firms setting a price and customers having to take that price. And so what started to happen is customers are pushing back. Clients are saying, we're not going to pay those heavy rates, or we'll pay your heavy rate, but we want to know what the efficiency play is. We want to know how you're going to help us meet our legal demands without the same sort of business model that led us to the crisis of 2008. And so that's when you started to see alternatives pop up. Whether you describe alternatives as firms that are smaller in size and bill everything on a flat fee, that would be an alternative. Whether you see like CEO law, where it's a collection of lawyers who work together, not in a traditional firm structure, to offer legal services. Some of the other things you may have seen gaining traction in the market, particularly recently, are Deloitte and E&Y providing ancillary services to their audit and tax and accounting services and the consulting services. They're also providing legal services. And to some people, that's considered an ALSP as well, because it's outside of that traditional law firm model, notwithstanding that it's a very similar professional services model. And then finally, there's some other things that are happening in the market too that I think you should consider as alternative legal service providers. Things like litigation finance, which is not huge up in Canada, but it's coming. People like Buford Capital, who are basically taking that burden of litigation off of your plate and financing those litigations for you. And that's another alternative legal service delivery model. And so when you think about ALSPs, we're really talking about things that fly in the face of the traditional law firm model. And many of the law firms themselves, particularly the bigger ones, have actually started their own in-house subgroups that have a different model. So for example, you'll have at Castles Brock, they have 4 lines. At Osler's, they have Osler's transactional work. Torrey's has an office in Halifax, for example. And those are arguably also ALSPs. They're alternative delivery models for legal service, although they sit in that traditional format. So